Hello. So I'm just like chilling, waking up from a nap, and yeah, it's nice to like just be in my own energy. Not gonna lie. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I love that my parents are visiting, but as a projector with like all my all my centers below the G center being open or undefined, it's like a lot of energy. Um about that, like my mom's a generator, my dad's a Mani Gen, my sister's a Mani Gen, so it's been like just a lot of like sacral energies, so it's nice to just take my own breaks in my own space. But it is really funny now knowing about human design and having experimented with, myself and like the people around me, that now I'm observing my parents and I'm like observing them and how they are. So like my mom has like an open throat and then my dad has a defined throat. So like as an example, like when I drive my mom, she just like talks the entire drive. And then with my dad, it's like those moments of silence. Like I have a defined throat, so it's like, oh, there's moments of silence, like, or we just put on music and we listen to that. And so it is interesting on the dynamics of it all. And how, like my mom being a generator, she's more like, kind of do things in a process, like just, like do it step by step. And then my dad's just like skipping a bunch of steps and it's like zoom, 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 like this, that, and so it's really hilarious just like observing the both of them separately. So I think that's like kind of funny. But yeah, so human design is interesting, and I am really grateful as part of my life because it has allowed me to truly understand people, like truly understand other people and have that love and kindness and compassion towards that. Like we're not all the same, and that each type has its own thing, and to hold space for all of that, right? Like a generator, me in the past have gotten frustrated, like without human design, may have gotten frustrated with a Mani Gen because a Mani Gen skip a bunch of steps to get to the end goal. And a generator is like, no, like you have to do like A, B, C, D, like to get to that. And so as a generator, understanding that for a Mani Gen, and vice versa, Mani Gen understanding that what a generator needs to do, then there's just all, it's like, oh, okay, like that's how they are. And then like with projectors, like people who now understand, like projectors, that we need an invitation. So like if you're in a conversation, a group conversation, and there's a projector in the room, like a projector isn't always going to just like join and talk and join the conversation like the Mani Gens and generators who are, even the manifestors who are just like sitting there and yapping away. A projector may be a little bit more on the quiet side until there's an invitation to be invited to speak, because sometimes we feel like, we feel weird butting in or saying something, or if we do, then it just like, it feels forced. Like, or there's times where I've done the whole like, like I'm ready to say something, but then someone talks over me because the invitation is not there. And so if you have a projector in your life and you are in a group conversation, just, ask them like, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Like, like ask them, like send the invite, because as projectors, we have a lot to say and we want to be invited. We want to share our wisdom. We want to share our gifts. So understanding that, and then also understanding like, so like then we got the manifestors. So understanding that when they're in their groove, like do not disturb them. Let them be in their groove. Let them be in their genius, in their creative zone. And I think that sometimes, like, if you look at, like, let's say, like, a work environment, right? And I remember when I used to work in an office, like, the amount of, like, disruptions, when you're working on something, especially a big project, you get disrupted and you're just, like, and then you lose that groove, like, where, like, it did, like, it bothered me, but it didn't bother me as much, and I was able to, like, navigate that. But for, like, a manifester, that really is, like, that can really set their not self theme of that anger. But it could also, like, change that energy there. They are, when they are meant to be in that creative zone of genius, it's like, just, they are meant to be in that space. And so this is, like, where, like, understanding human design and all these elements, and, like, a reflector, like, needs to take their time in making decisions. Like, you can't rush a reflector. Like, 28 days to make a decision. Like, come on. Even, like, an emotional authority, like, to ride that emotional wave to make a decision, like, being able to honor that. Like, I know a lot of people, I just freaking hit my head, Jesus. I know a lot of people who are emotional authorities, a lot of my friends, and it's really funny, like, anytime, like, I'll say something or do something, or, like, they ask them to make a decision. Like, I sit back and I was like, they'll decide when they decide. Like, I don't need to rush them. But we live in a society where it's like, everything needs to be now. Like, everything, we need an answer now. Like, the instant gratification. Like, and so understanding that emotional authorities, even lunar authorities, like the reflectors, and even, like, some, like, for me, like, as a projector, like a self-projected projector, there's some decisions I'm, like, not meant to do quickly. Like, I don't have my spleen defined. I don't have a sacral defined either. And so sometimes some decisions I need to take my time as well. And yes, talking it out and soundboarding it does not necessarily mean that, that decision is going to be clear overnight. Like, sometimes there's certain things that, like, surrendering and waiting for certain nuggets from my environment or certain clarity within myself. And that can take time too. So there are so many elements, and these are just, like, the basics of human design. They're, like, very basics. And then you can dive deeper into the gates, and it's just really cool. So, and I also use it a lot with, sorry, I need to sit up a little bit. I also use it a lot with my clients and understanding how they are and navigating that and giving them, like, ways to do, like, the homework that I give them, like the journal prompts, or if I give them meditations and whatnot. I give them stuff based on their human design. And sometimes it is a trial and error. Sometimes it is like like, okay, try this, like, let me know how it works. And let me know if that felt better. Like, if, voice noting the journal prompts versus writing them down, which, some, like, each type or each, depending on the defined centers and the gates, each chart will be different on how people navigate it. And some people are visual, some people are more auditory, like, and so using that human design for them to best do the work that works for them. And so it's powerful. It's powerful. So if you are curious about human design, or if you want me to continue talking about it more, creating an invitation here, let me know. We still got a shit ton of days for this 365 live. This is like 232. So if there's more things that you want to know about human design, write in the comments. Like, let me know, what would you love to learn about it? If this is something you would love for me to continue talking about. I love talking about human design. I also love talking about money. I love talking about spiritual journeys. There's a lot of things I love talking about. But, like, I also want to see where you're at and what is going on in your world as well. And if you don't know how to get your chart, or if you're, like, really confused, especially, with your birth time and whatnot, send me a message. Like, my DMs are open, so send me a message. You won't find me DMing you as a projector. That's, like, a hard no. And so, yeah, let me know. And without further ado, I will let you go for the day. And I'm going to make some lunch, and then, yeah, get some stuff done. Boop, boop. Okay, I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.